back to the other benefits that we have not talked about of Fulvic specifically is its atomic weight. Because it's so small and so light that it can penetrate inner and outer cell walls of bacteria on up, which is why it works so well, because it's not only chelating and attracting that mineral, but it's allowed to penetrate those membranes easily instead of something that, like a big molecule, that can't even get close to it. So
and they can carry a significant amount of ions with it, which is so great. So it really is a transporter. Yeah, there's the analogy that I use, and I've talked to some people about like it being an acid. Acids aren't always corrosive. It's just this chemical formation, the class of molecule that it is. There's a lot of acids that are non-corrosive that are attractors. Hyaluronic acid is an example for, like, people know that more commonly in skincare, is it can carry 1,000 times its weight in water molecules and allow for better absorption. Well, fulvic acid kind of plays that same role, is that it's a tiny molecule that's very focused on getting through tissues. So it can actually, when it's used, especially as a foliar spray, for example, fulvic or humic acid, I always focus on that as whatever's going to be in and around the root zone. So you use humic acid wherever it's going to be around the root, amend the soil, work with the soil biology. That's where humic acid is going to play its role. Fulvic acid is interesting because it can be used foliarly. So you can spray it onto the canopy, and it serves a role there as well as it does when you're mixing it with nutrients and running it through your line fertigation, or mixing it in with your humics into your media. As a foliar, again, same thing, is that it can hold, it attracts nutrients, it attracts those ions, holds on to them, and absorbs them into the plant tissues. So it's not it doesn't absorb just into the tissue where it's sprayed or where it's uptaken into the roots. It assimilates through the entire plant. So the beauty of that is that it creates a new, almost like a pathway through the plant. It joins in with all cells within that plant. So it allows for better movement of and migration of those nutrients. So translocation of nutrients, especially the immobile nutrients, which can be really tricky. You can mix fulvic into your reservoir, feed it to the plant as part of their nutrient. It can be taken up through the roots, but sometimes certain nutrients will get locked in along the way, and you get lost when you need it in the canopy. So you can blend fulvic as part of your foliar, and same thing with skin tissue, is that it's going to absorb through that tissue. It's going to absorb into those through those cell walls. It's a really interesting it's an interesting function of the product itself.